Donald Trump's presidency has been an absolute disaster, but you don't even need me to tell you that. It's been so bad that even the folks at the Fox propaganda outlet are letting their audience know that Donald Trump has been a failure, he's broken his promises, and remember those grocery prices he said were going down? No, they're going up, all because of his terrible trade war. And of course, that is making Donald Trump furious because anytime Fox says anything that isn't complete praise of him, he loses his mind. And that is what he is doing, going after the man at the top of it all. And we are going to get into that. But before we do, if I can quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into what Fox had to say about Donald Trump's trade war, again, I am as surprised as I really could be that they're even covering this. They're not just heaping praise and lies onto Donald Trump. Let's check out some real cold, hard facts about Donald Trump's trade wars and how the American people feel about tariffs.
You know, I feel like Howard Stern's mother, something horrible has happened here. That's what's going on here, getting on my biggest New York Jewish accent I could. Trump's tariffs on Canada, China, Mexico. Look at this, just 38% support. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to figure out that 51% oppose is larger than the 38% support. Look, Trump has done some fairly popular things in his first few weeks in office. This is not one of them. No, no, no. Horrible, 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 to quote Charles Barkley. The American folks are opposed to these tariffs when you ask it specifically like this about the three countries, or if you ask it more vaguely about tariffs overall, they simply put, do not like it, Mr.
It's interesting. Even with China in the question, people say that they are opposed to tariffs. The majority here, and there's not a majority on a lot of things these days. How about how Americans say they want to see Donald Trump focused in this first 100 days and whether tariffs should be a focus?
You know, the two big focuses for Trump in the polling are immigration and the economy. Tariffs ain't it, my dear friend. Tariffs ain't it. Trump should focus on tariffs. In November of 2024, when Ipsos asked it was 1%. Look at what happened in December of 2024. It doubled. It doubled, but to only 2%. When you double to only 2%, you know that the American people don't want Trump's focus to be here. They don't like it. They don't want his focus to be there. They want it to be on other issues.
Are they paying attention? Do they notice that this is happening?
Yeah, so the big question is, you know, Trump has done a lot of things that are unpopular in the past, but the poll numbers haven't moved. That may be the case here, but I'm a little skeptical of that. Why? Take a look at weekly Google searches for tariffs. Look how much higher they are versus a year ago. They're up 2,400%. That reaches a 21-year high. You know, folks are paying attention when there are more Google searches for that than for Taylor Swift, who almost always is in the top of Google searches.
There were more Google searches for tariffs than Taylor Swift?
Correct. In the past week, more Google searches for tariffs than for Taylor Swift. I never thought I'd see it happen, but American people are actually interested in tariffs in a negative fashion, it seems to be.
Interesting. We'll see what happens over the next few hours. It does raise questions about whether there will be the follow-through.
We'll see.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty clear what the politics on this issue is. Don't. Maybe we don't do tariffs. Maybe we don't raise the price of everything by 25 to 50%. Maybe we don't cripple economies, full state economies. Ohio's biggest trading partner is Canada. The biggest exporter Ohio sends to a different country is Canada. And the cases of that are numerous across states, across whole industries that require and rely on our trading partner to the north. That's what Justin Trudeau has been saying over and over and over and over again, and Donald Trump doesn't want to listen. So unfortunately, his MAGA stooges and his MAGA supporters are learning what tariffs really do, and it's coming from the Fox propaganda outlet. Take a look what they had to say right here.
Spending that the government has done, both Republicans and Democrats alike, and thank God for DOGE. They're looking at waste, fraud, and abuse. Just got access to Treasury payment accounts to showcase all of the fraud going on, billions and billions of dollars. They're already saving billions of dollars a day. We have to look at spending. We have to look at tax cuts as well. But it's very important. There are multiple factors that go into inflation. We have to recognize that and try to fight our way forward and grow the economy in a way that wages grow with the challenges we have ahead, and that people can afford eggs and gas again. We can't do that right now until we fix the system.
Yeah, we were just
It is nice to see a bit of this truth about how things are going to get more expensive because of Donald Trump on Fox. But I'm constantly reminded of how these stories were never told, no one in the mainstream media wanted to talk about Donald Trump's tariff plan when it was all he wanted to talk about. No one ever talked about. No one ever said. There was no study. There was no report. There was no anything about how Donald Trump would make your life more expensive, when that seemed to be the number one issue that pundits wanted to talk about, was the economy, was rising prices. No one ever brought this up, and now they want to cover it. It just really shows the failures of the mainstream media. But of course, Donald Trump was not happy with that reporting. He wasn't also happy with another one of Rupert Murdoch's companies, the Wall Street Journal, and he went after them in an angry tantrum. Let's check it out right here. Trump wrote, "Anyone that's against tariffs, including the fake news Wall Street Journal and hedge funds, is only against them because these people or entities are controlled by China or other foreign or domestic companies. Anybody that loves and believes in the United States of America is in favor of tariffs. They should have never ended. In favor of the income tax system in 1913. The response to tariffs has been fantastic." The response to tariffs has not been fantastic, Donald. It's in fact been very bad. And you know that. My favorite thing about this whole tariff experiment, about all the tariff talk, is when Trump said, we're doing 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada, but maybe we'll make that Canadian oil, that Canadian energy, we'll make it 10%. Let's lower it a little bit. They don't raise prices, these tariffs, according to Donald Trump, but Trump knows that people look at the price of gas, and he loves talking about gas prices. And if you slap a big tariff on that Canadian oil, Donald, what's going to happen? Say it with me. Price is going to go up. Admitting to it in his own plan. And again, he actually has admitted to it, saying that there might be a little temporary pain. So Donald, you're against tariffs. You know they're bad. And the whole, you're controlled by China thing, come on. Are we really going to point fingers over who's controlled by China when Donald Trump is speaking? Get out of here. It's nonsensical. It's nonsensical. It's all it is. It's nonsensical. And that's exactly how Jasmine Crockett treated it when she called out Donald Trump right here.
Listen, today I had to enter into agreement with Rand Paul, something that I never saw on my bingo card. But this is a guy who made it clear. This stupid tariff war is just that. It is dumb. And I have to agree, even when it's somebody like Rand Paul, I have to agree that he is absolutely correct.
So just specifically, what is Rand Paul saying that you said, yeah, I'm backing you up on this?
On the tariffs, he said that deciding to put these tariffs on Mexico as well as Canada, I don't think we'll ever scream too loudly about tariffs on China, but that's a whole other issue. But he was saying that it is going to take the cost of things up and that we should just call it what it is. This is a tax. It is a tax on Americans. And his attitude about it was, allegedly, the Republicans don't like to do taxes. So why are we raising taxes on the American people? But that's exactly what it is. It's a tax on us. We are the ones that are going to pay.
Can I just ask you, didn't you hear Donald Trump say many times during the campaign he was going to lower prices for the American people? Won't this have the opposite effect?
Now, you know, I tried to ignore a lot of the things that he said. But yes, he did say that. He did tell that lie. And we know we've got historic prices right now on eggs. For everybody that said they voted because of the price of eggs, they have only gone up. And just saying that you're going to lower something with only offering concepts of a plan was really the giveaway that he did not have a plan to help you lower the cost of food. Instead, as we are seeing these raids that are taking place, we know that we've heard from farmers that people aren't showing up to work. And the reality is that every single city that I've campaigned in, I would ask people, tell me how many of you plan on going into farming or sending your kids into farming. So you explain to me how that food is going to make it to the grocery store if there's no one that is actually willing to go out and work the fields. And now let's talk about the foods that we get out of Mexico, whether it's our avocados, whether it's our strawberries, the things that we import. Let's talk about what that's going to look like when Mexico says, oh, okay, well, they put a tariff on it. All that's being passed on to us. And then when it comes to people, especially in my state of Texas, where we are one of the largest traders in the world, not just the United States, but in the world, Texas is our own economy. And now our biggest trade partner, Mexico, is saying, you know what, we're going to slap these tariffs on. What does that mean? Those businesses that are doing trade are now going to be hit because people in Mexico may not be buying those items because now they are going to be too expensive.
It's always sobering to talk with you, I have to say, but you also managed to bring a smile to my face with your energy and personality. So thanks. Gotta say thanks for that as well.
The prices they're not going down. And he doesn't care. He really doesn't at this point. And I said it in a previous video when we talked about Justin Trudeau's response. It seems that Trudeau cares more about America than Donald Trump does. And his response, he said, I'm disappointed that we have to retaliate. America has been such a great partner to us. This friendship that we've built is so important. We rely on each other. We support each other. And I feel bad for the American people whose lives will be affected by these tariffs, by these increased prices. And I'm like, can Justin Trudeau be president instead of Donald Trump? It's like he really seems to care about us. And Trump's like, nah, you're going to feel some pain. But in the meantime, Elon's getting another multi-billion-dollar tax cut. Does that make it better? It's crazy. But actually, listen to what Trudeau had to say.
I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors. This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you. If President Trump wants to usher in a new golden age for the United States, the better path is to partner with Canada, not to punish us. The actions taken today by the White House split us apart instead of bringing us together. But I want you to know, we are all in this together. The Canadian government, Canadian businesses, Canadian organized labor, Canadian civil society, Canada's premiers, and tens of millions of Canadians from coast to coast to coast are aligned and united. This is Team Canada at its best.
Again, it seems like he cares more than Trump. I can't believe this anymore. It's difficult. Every time we have to talk about how ridiculous this guy is, it gets just more and more absurd. He really does not know what he's doing. It gets worse every day. But we're going to call him out every day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can leave a like and hit that subscribe button. You can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.